Ice in the Arctic has been rapidly shrinking in recent decades, covering a considerably smaller area than it did in the early 80s. And with the threat of climate change still not eliminated, scientists are desperate to know whether the region's year-round ice will survive the onslaught of rising temperatures. A team of researchers at Columbia University in the U.S. fears a 1 million square kilometer section of thick ice in the polar north could vanish in the next 80 years. In a study published in the journal Earth's Future, the researchers investigated a section of ice north of Greenland and the Canadian coast that is known as the last ice area. This part of the Arctic boasting the thickest blanket of ice, which theoretically gives it a better chance at surviving rising temperatures. However, according to the study's authors, summer ice in this area could vanish by 2100 if greenhouse emissions, the leading cause of global warming, are not curbed. And that would spell bad news for many of the ecosystems that rely on the ice, including polar bear and seal populations. Under a more optimistic scenario for the state of the climate, the section of the Arctic could retain some of its summer ice indefinitely. In both cases, however, the ice cover is expected to become worryingly thin by the year 2050. Robert Newton, study co-author and senior research scientist at Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory, said, "Unfortunately, this is a massive experiment we're doing. If the year-round ice goes away, entire ice-dependent ecosystems will collapse, and something new will begin." In the winter, most of the Arctic Ocean's surface freezes over and will likely continue to do so for the foreseeable future. The ice can grow up to a meter thick and, if it survives throughout the summer, it can grow several meters thick in subsequent seasons. Some of the ice will melt and break off in the summer, traveling to the region's northernmost coasts of Greenland and Canada. Here, the ice can accumulate into layers measuring up to 10 meters high, creating a thriving marine ecosystem for fish, seals, polar bears and even microbial animals. By mid-century, however, less ice is expected to flow into the area, and if greenhouse emissions continue, the prospect of year-round ice coverage will become a thing of the past by 2100. Dr. Newton said, "This is not to say it will be a barren, lifeless environment. New things will emerge, but it may take some time for new creatures to invade.